So to begin, to bring back my experience, in the month of November, I worked on my district piece. And I didn't mention this in the last reflection, but I went to FTC, which is a um, festival, I want to say. It's not necessarily a festival, but it's for people who would like to continue theater on later in the higher level. And also it has a bunch of workshops for a variety of theater aspects. And I went to a bunch of them and I learned so much. And as for districts, I rehearsed my piece. Unfortunately, my duet scene did not get selected to compete at districts, but my large group musical did. And at districts, for the large group musical, we received an excellent, which is the second. It's second level, I guess you can earn. But yeah, we received an excellent, which I am extremely proud of because I have never gone to districts. Therefore, my first time getting an excellent is amazing. I'm really disappointed that my duet scene didn't get chosen because I was really proud of it. And as for FTC, I don't remember all of the workshops that I went to, but to name a few, there was one about costuming and the importance of having the costume in the correct period of the show. And I went to one about reading Shakespeare because we'll probably be doing a Shakespeare play for our fall show next year. And I went to an improv workshop, and then the last one I can remember is about physical comedy. As for the goals I set up in this experience, I stated that I wanted to become a better actor, and I haven't fully met that goal, obviously, because I haven't done much acting per se in this experience. But then again, I have. I've learned to sing like nobody's business. I mean, of course, I'm not going on Broadway anytime soon, but I believe that it really has improved. I'm not going to take a solo musical, but I feel if I were to be put in the same situation of being in a group musical again, it wouldn't sway me because I'd feel more comfortable because now I know like different warm-up techniques and stuff like that. Another goal that I set out was that I wanted to learn to better present myself, and I believe that has definitely improved. I received a lot of notes from my director, Mr. Durst, on things like little tics that I have when I perform, which could also correlate to me when I present. Like I play with my hair a lot, and I talk with my hands a lot, and stuff like that. And Mr. Durst, he picked up on that, and so I can use what he told me to then go and take that to presentations and such. As for the cast elements involved, I believe that I identified my own strengths and weaknesses. I believe that's a word. As for my acting, I saw the lines, certain lines in the script where I wasn't really, pushing the belt per se. And then I worked on that, and even though it didn't get taken to districts, Mr. Durst said that it completely improved from the time that we auditioned with the piece, and yeah. And then for the small group or large group, I saw where I could, input more character into the character that I was, which was the crazy cat lady. And I saw that that was kind of weak compared to everybody else's character, so I was like, how can I add myself into this character? And I grew from there. For developing ways to grow, I would like, by next year's round of districts, I would like to either find a scene or find a scene partner that I work well with, so that Mr. Durst would be able to take us to districts, because I'm not exactly sure the reason being of him not taking us. I'm not salty at him or anything, but it doesn't hurt my feelings. I really wish I would have taken the piece. But like I said, I'd like to find either a different scene partner or a script that I can more relate with next year. Secondly, let's see. I showed commitment and perseverance. Being in a large group is not easy. We had 14 people in our district piece, and all of those people were from different singing backgrounds, different acting backgrounds, different cultural backgrounds that prevented them from coming to certain rehearsals. And it's not easy. We had to spend time with each person on a different level to help their singing ability, I guess, and trying to coordinate a musical number with so many schedules to work around. It was not difficult. And when people were not getting into their character, it was really frustrating, and we thought that we weren't going to, we going into this, like a few weeks before districts, I thought that we would be getting a fair, if that, and that's, I think, the second lowest level you can get. But to come out from that and get an excellent is just, and the judges' feedback, most of them said that this was a really good piece and lots of character and stuff like that, and it made me feel really good. And hmm. I wouldn't necessarily say I developed a new skill. I mean, I kind of increased my ability to perform a certain skill. Like I said, my singing has increased, and my acting ability has kind of increased. But like I said, I don't necessarily think that I developed a new skill. Moving on. Connecting this experience in TOK, going back to FTC, every workshop that I went to, I was given, the speaker of the workshop shared their knowledge of the craft with me. For example, the costume workshop. Costumes are something that I'm really interested in. I've mentioned it in other reflections about Shakespeare in Hollywood and such. I love costumes. I love working with costumes. And I went to a costume workshop. It was about what are the implications of choosing the right piece, or choosing the right costume and the right period of the script and whatnot. And so I went there, and she informed us, she gave us examples about scripts that or costumes that she's created, and what scripts they were for, and what time period those scripts were based in. And she gave us examples of what not and what to do. Um, and I had never really thought about, I mean, of course, I was like, yeah, you should have a costume that fits in the period. You don't want to have a play that's written in 1940 to have a costume that's modern day if it doesn't fit. But I had never really thought about how significant it was. And so for her to bring, not necessarily bring it up, but for her to mention that, it really kind of increased my knowledge, my personal knowledge, and therefore going forward, I'll be able to have a um, narrower lens on costumes and such. Um, um, Relationships between me and members of the community, this wasn't really affected by it. I mean, I guess me and my peers kind of have a better connection now that we experienced this large group musical together. Other than that, not really. As for successes, I believe that districts was a complete success. Of course, I would love to get a superior, but I'm not completely shooken up that I didn't get one because I wasn't even expecting to get an excellent. Um, but I'm very happy with the score that I got. For FTC, that was also very successful. I'm not exactly sure if I'm considering or if I would like to continue theater on the higher level. Um, I don't necessarily know if I'm a good enough actor to continue acting, but maybe I'll do like costuming or another technical aspect. FTC really helped me view what you can do with it in the future. Um, like with the workshops, I saw that even if you are, wanting to continue acting, you can be a theater teacher or you can be a spokesperson or things like that. So, I mean, I could do that. Um, but yeah, FTC was very successful for me. I learned a lot of new things, and yeah. Challenges, like I said, organizing a large group is not simple at all. It's very stressful, it's very difficult, and I really think that Iris and Iris is kind of the second group leader. I really think that we handled it very well, and but challenges. Sometimes during the rehearsals, I really felt like we didn't get enough done because we were kind of like goofing off and things like that. So maybe um, if we had spent more time actually focusing on what we needed to do, we could have gotten a superior. Um, but I don't want to spend time dwelling on what I could have done and what I couldn't have done because, like I said, I'm very happy with my score. Aspects to improve. I think that I could improve on my leadership skills. I was very lenient during the rehearsal process, and I feel like Iris and I would have been more strict. We could have better constructed or orchestrated the rehearsals for Ben and Snap. My changes in perspective, I didn't really change much in my perspective. I mean, like I said, I'm still considering moving forward in the technical aspect of theater. I haven't made a decision yet because I still love the major that I decided on. Um, but yeah, I wouldn't be opposed to the idea of continuing in the second level of theater. Um, I meaningful learning. I learned that a large group is not easy to control, and I learned that being with a scene partner who you really connect with really does change your scene. Like, my scene partner was someone that I was kind of butting heads with at the time, so I wasn't necessarily completely connecting with her on stage, because it wasn't really an emotional scene. It just required a lot of stage chemistry, which I don't think that we had, just due to the fact that we weren't necessarily best friends at the time. Um, um, and I also learned that you must connect with the script if you're going to perform it. The script that I had, I loved it. It was a really good script, but I don't think my scene partner performed it to what I expected. But then again, I'm not throwing shade. I think I'll take that into larger consideration next time and not choose a scene partner based on who I'm friends with, but who I think I'll work well with. In the large group, I learned that same thing applies. I really liked my stage partners. I feel like we all fit into our character really well. The only thing that I didn't like was how unfocused they were. But like I said, that could have been changed with better authority and whatnot. Changes in myself. Like I said, choosing a scene partner. Now that my scene did not successfully go to districts, maybe it's because I chose the wrong scene partner. And moving forward, I'll choose a scene partner based on who fits in. I'll find a play that I want to do first, and then I'll look at my friends and people around me, and then I'll ask them based on who I think will fit in the scene best to do the scene with me. Whereas before, I chose based on who I wanted, who was my best friend, and whatnot. In ways that I continue to grow, in the next round of districts, I would like to take a duet acting scene, and I would, I'm going to apply all these things that I'm talking about now. In fact, I'm looking for a scene for next year's district so that I can have more time to work on it, because the last scene that I chose, we only worked on it for about 3 months, which is plenty of time. It's not, more time the merrier, but having more time never hurts. And FTC next year, I'd like to take more notes on the workshops that I went to, because I'm starting to forget stuff. And maybe I'll audition. They do have an audition aspect there, but one, I was too nervous, and two, it was just something that I didn't want to do. But maybe next year I will. Because plus I'll have more experience and stuff like that. Applying what I've learned, as for the acting partner, the same goes for your friend group. If you're just being friends with someone just because, or because you're around them all the time, and not just because you have a connection, that can really alter you. For example, I just ended a friendship with someone, even though we're constantly by each other, but I wasn't happy anymore, so I decided to end that friendship. And it's life. As for organizing and stuff, I can use this experience to use it next year, of course, and I can use it to organize study groups, and because study groups are definitely usually have a lot more than 14 people. And even if I can use the experience that I learned from organizing a large group and apply that to a smaller group. Further actions, I already went over that. Well, what I have learned affect my future. Maybe at FTC, if I do plan on continuing this to the higher level, maybe I'll use the knowledge that I learned in the workshops and use that in the higher level. Or like I said, when I learned the period costume workshop, I can use that for our next show, South Pacific, and if I see a piece that doesn't really go, or a piece that could go better, I'll bring that up with Ms. Kabula and such.